Hello everybody, it is June 5th, 2025. The time is about 9 minutes after 5 p.m. Let us tap right in and get a storyline for the collective, shall we? An updated storyline for the collective, the one that I pick up on. Hello, darling. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. In the central energy, the Knight of Cups. There may be a proposal coming in. Somebody may want to make a proposal, a partnership, or some kind of a thing. Challenge position. The Hermit. Research. You're doing your research. So they're challenged by you doing your research. They're challenged by you seeking the truth, or the light being shined on the truth. In the subconscious. Came out in the reverse. We've got Justice in the reverse. Yeah, dishonesty, lack of accountability. A punishment. There could be a punishment. In the recent past, the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel has turned. The Wheel of Fortune has turned. Turning point. Intentions and expectations. The Magician. Manifestation. In the near future, we've got Strength. The lens that's being looked through is the Four of Swords. Planning for the future. Taking a break. Recuperating in the environment. Yeah. In the environment, somebody's trying to play tricks. Somebody's committing fraud against the Queen of Cups. Somebody's trying to betray or trick the Queen of Cups. Hopes and fears. Chariot. They're hoping to get on your chariot, to take the chariot from this divine feminine and get out of there. Or they're afraid that she will be victorious. They're still right up in her freaking business, man. They just won't stop. And the outcome, very swiftly, we've got the Hierophant here. Swift action by the Hierophant. Two of Swords, Ten of Swords. They're at a stalemate. This is a painful ending. And they're going to be experiencing scarcity. Because the Sun has the Ten of Pentacles. And it's the completion of their Ten of Wands burden. A completion of this competition or conflict, because there's a disconnection happening here. You've manifested a disconnection and a release. So there is a separation based in truth. Queen of Swords and King of Swords. Clarity. Oh, and the Queen of Wands is here. Whew, yeah. Reconciled, which is bringing a tower. A tower for a visionary and death, because the truth is exposed about what work they've been doing. We've got the Nine of Cups here. A wish come true. They're bound from you. They can't, they're restricted. They can't mess with you anymore. You're protected. These are masculines coming after the feminine, because the feminine is the love, honor, respect, care, nurture, compassion, kindness. And she's got the wealth, and they just want to do away with love, honor, respect, care, nurturing, and kindness. And they want the wealth. They don't give a crap about the other stuff. They will stomp on the one trying to nurture the community in order to command the wealth that goes along with that guidance system. These men, these so-called men, are just vile. A failed experiment is what the divine called them. So you've got the Knight of Cups here. Knight in shining armor, trying to get romantic. We've got the Three of Wands reversed. They're not planning well. They didn't plan well. They lack foresight. The Hermit's here, shining a light on stuff. They've done their research. They know what's going on. And they've got, oh, these are in the reverse. Hold up. Let me put these back and put it in the upright, because I don't do reverse. If I don't start out reverse anyway. Okay, Knight of Cups. What's the Knight of Cups going on? He wants to get romantic, but it's dishonest. The Fool reversed. They made bad choices. They're hesitating. They want to make a proposal, but they're holding back. They don't know what to do. The Hermit's here, shining a light on it. Could be that you're independent. You've done your research. You know all about this romantic charm and what these ones do with contracts. So they're challenged by the Hermit shining a light on the Ten of Cups unions. So this is a deceptive, dishonest person who wants to make a proposal. They don't have a new beginning. They're taking a risk, but it's based in dishonesty. They could be receiving some sort of a punishment. There's a lack of accountability. They think it's unfair. They behave unfairly. They don't know what to do. You're shining a light. You've done your research. You know, or maybe anybody coming into union at this time in the spiritual realm or otherwise is being investigated. Magician. Dishonest punishment, guilt, they may want to do a punishment here on the Queen of Cups here with trickery and fraud and theft. This is all they are, man. They hate the fact that the mother cares and nurtures and is in charge of the wealth that is necessary to make certain that everybody has enough. They're so mad about it. They don't want the mother to have what she needs. And in the indigenous culture, you know, it's the masculine who provides. You know, they provide the meat. They provide the foundation. They provide the feminine with everything they need to nurture the community. And then, you know, it's up to the women to do their thing, you know. But these ones don't want to do that. They want to keep everything from her. They don't want her to be seen as a leader or a guide or a mother. So the Wheel of Fortune has turned here. For, again, the Knight of Cups. The wheel has turned on romantic proposals. And we've got the Magician up there too. They're doing magic. They need a relationship in order to make any of this work. They got to tap into the divine feminine energy in order to twist it and to possess it and then trap it and then drain it of its wealth. So they've got the manifestation, but they're in regret here. So the magician's in regret. Failure due to your strength or somebody's strength. Subtle power. You know, some of these people look at the mother as though she is weak, and yet she builds a whole human being within her body and then pushes it out into the world, which they would never be able to do. And they're so angry. And she doesn't go around flexing muscles or anything either. You know, she's very beautiful and kind. Unless they're on Team Hobag. Chariot, your strength and your victory. So they're in regret. They have failed. They're suffering a loss. We've got strength and victory here. That's yours. You're planning for the future. You're resting. Here, recovering. Four of Swords. Or there's somebody being laid to rest. We've got the codependency. You're recovering from the devil. You're resting, your relaxation. You are experiencing a recuperation from this codependent toxicity. But they're here in the environment with the Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud, still against the Queen of Cups, the nurturer, the healer. Oh, they do not like the healer. They want to capture her and then force her to not only carry the burden of their really crappy concepts of what it means to be a man and their chosen sexual, deviancies. They want her to carry the burden of that vileness, and then they also demand that she serve them, cook food for him and all his friends or whoever. Do what you need to do with the genders. So they're trying to commit fraud against this Queen of Cups. They're betraying her. It's deception, just like justice reversed, dishonesty, a dishonest magician. Ooh, the Emperor is here. Somebody's trying to commit fraud and trickery against the Queen of Cups, the nurturer, the Divine Mother, and the Emperor is here regarding structure, rules, discipline. And we've got the Chariot here, a victory and a journey. Ace of Cups. So your love here, you've got a victory and you've got a journey here, a proposal and a marriage. You could have a new baby, which is going to leave these Seven of Swords, dishonest, fraudulent thieves in a Five of Pentacles energy. Yep. Your love is going to cause them that. You've got a victory here. Love has a victory, and that means that those who are trying to steal what belongs to the nurturer and this Emperor, the father and the mother, what those who are trying to steal from the Divine Mother and the father in his Emperor energy are going to face a financial loss. Very swiftly, the Hierophant is here. I like to look at this Hierophant in this particular story that I read as the Most High. Take it as it resonates, though. The Hierophant and the High Priestess, committed, high morals. There's a swift change being created by the Hierophant and the High Priestess. The Emperor is right here with the Divine Mother. We're regarding this trickery and this fraud. Oh, they're in trouble. King of Pentacles. There could be a King of Pentacles getting disconnected due to some kind of illusions that he was consistently putting out. Judgment is being called, and we've got a swift judgment, a swift whatever going to be happening. And the King of Cups, the love of divine masculine, is in control of that foundation, and it's a frugal foundation. You've got 4 Pentacles there. It's frugal. I don't really like, in this instance, I don't really like to think of it as scarcity, but it could be. But I think because the King of Cups is here, that he's lovingly building a solid and secure foundation that's not fancy, it's not frivolous, it's not any of that. And somebody's in fear. Somebody's having anxiety about it, because the again, the Hermit is here shining a light on it, doing this research. And the Queen of Swords is here with the Sun, the truth and the rebirth, and the Ace of Wands, new opportunities, passionate opportunities. Nostalgia, travel plans, nostalgia, history, memories, the past. It could be past lifetimes even. Getting ready to make travel plans and then come together in a unified love. The Two of Cups here. A proposal in a marriage. Ace of Cups, Two of Cups. Well, what do you got there? You got the Emperor and the Queen of Cups. You've got the Hierophant and the High Priestess. This Emperor could be the Hierophant. Take it as it resonates. There is, yeah, these ones are concerned because every union is having the light shine on it with the Hermit. Research is being done before any contracts. Because these are going to be dream come true, total loving, total support, divine loving contracts. So the Knight of Cups is here wanting to be charming, you know, Mr. Romantic. He's holding back, the Fool reversed, or he could be wanting to take a risk. He made some bad choices. He doesn't know what to do. Escape. He may want to, he may be taking a risk trying to escape. The Hermit, he's challenged because the Hermit is here shining a light on these unions. He can't just come in and make a proposal because it will be investigated. He can't just magically, you know, go find a solo feminine somewhere in the astral realms and then do sex magic to get her to agree falsely to a contract. He can't do that anymore because somebody's going to be reviewing that. Forgiveness. Punishment, dishonesty, the Magician, a lack of accountability. It's time. It's too late for them to take any action here. The wheel has turned on Prince Charming. The Knight of Cups is out here twice. The wheel has turned on Prince Charming. It's a new chapter. A new chapter. So it's a new chapter for Prince Charming. The old Prince Charming is out. South Node Prince Charming wants to escape this punishment. In the recent past, we've got the wheel turns on Prince Charming. This is a new chapter. The Magician here, so they were doing magic to gain contracts. Love, sex, magic, whatever. So the Magician is in regret. There's failure here and disappointment. A loss. Sabotage. They messed up the good things in their life. They sabotaged themselves. rather than be actually responsible in an intimate, sacred, energetic exchange union, they were frivolous and childish, and it was all about what? Power and domination and stuff. They sabotaged themselves. You are too strong here, and you've got a victory, and you're departing. You're in your chariot here. So there's disagreement. Of course there's disagreement. You know, a sore loser. Everybody gets ice cream, right? They wish you understood how they felt. This devil is crying because you survived, you got a win, and now they're boo-hooing because they couldn't trap you, unalive you, dominate you. They never cared how you felt. The more you were suffering, the greater they enjoyed it. This devil missed their opportunity. There's a laying to rest or a recuperation. You are renewed. The strength and the chariot, the Four of Swords, you're making plans for the future. And this devil missed their opportunity. But in the environment, you've got betrayal with the Seven of Swords. So they're still trying to lie about the Queen of Cups, to commit fraud and trickery. And the Emperor is here regarding rules, discipline, focus. He's the authority here. He's offering her protection. He understands her side of the story. So there's a Chariot here. Look at that. The Chariot's out here twice. What about that? We got the Knight of Cups, doesn't know what to do about this because this is a new chapter. They can't just go in and romance somebody magically into a spiritual contract that they'll never make good on in the 3D, right? It's all about stuff. So then we've got the Magician's out here twice, the Chariot's out here twice. You're moving on. You got a victory here, a victory for love. And somebody's suffering a financial loss in their destiny. Somebody has lost your destiny. Somebody's insecure or worried about their destiny. They have a lack mindset. They won't have any money in their destiny because love won. Eight of Wands here. There's a swift change, a swift something. The Hierophant is here and the High Priestess. High level commitment and wisdom, high morals, sacred knowledge. And we have unsatisfied. I wasn't happy with the way things were going. So the Hierophant and the High Priestess weren't happy with the way things are going. And there's swift change here. Unexpected outcome for the secret keepers, for the liars. The way that you love can never be matched. You're irreplaceable. They can't replace you. So those who have habitual patterns that they'll never change are holding back or being held back. They're found unworthy of your dream. Why? Because this prideful person was joking about how fun it was to hurt you. They're confused. They don't know what to do. They've been found guilty. What in the heck? They have hope for a conversation because they're both hurting. This reflection who was trying to mimic you and this third party enemy scenario, they're both hurting. So they want to talk to you because they're really feeling the absence of this money. They can't get into your space with this chemistry, with this sexual energy. They can't tap into your sexual energy. They can't come near you with this Knight of Cups romance. And they're in regret about lying on this soul contract because they're overwhelmed and getting detached for the neglect. They lied about a soul contract. They were actually neglecting somebody. They abandoned somebody. And then they tried to destroy that somebody, that Queen of Cups. And so she's out here and they can no longer access her intimately or any portion of her sacred energy. They can't get into her space. No, they're getting detached from her because the truth is here. The truth is out. They know the truth. They've made some mistakes, and now what happened to her is going to happen to them. It's just the way it's going to go. The Emperor knows what happened. And he understands. He's not one of these childish, you know, all huff and all puff, and I'm gonna get hundreds of people to lie about you and to project their nastiness onto you. So the Knight of Cups, Mr. Knight in Shining Armor, is they might be taking risks, trying to escape something. They might not know what to do. They might be hesitating because they want to escape. They might not know what. Look, they're reaching out, but love is eluding them. They cannot get a loving union because the Hermit is here doing research and shining a light on all of these divine Ten of Cups unions. They're challenged because they want forgiveness, but you're still struggling to get over the past. You don't want anything to do with it. So these unions are being looked at very carefully. He's reaching for love, but he can't connect. They lost. They feel like they've been abandoned by love. Because love to them isn't love. It's just a wand in exchange for a love cup that they can then go and share with whoever, right? So there's punishment for this magician, and it's too late for them to take any action. We got tired. They're tired. They don't have any energy. They couldn't connect. They couldn't connect with somebody's love cup. They need somebody's love energy, and they couldn't connect. The wheel is turning for this Knight of Cups, Prince Charming. This is a new chapter for love and proposals. And we've got needs. If emotional needs aren't being met, it's time to reassess. Touch is important too. Needs. They were not meeting the needs of people that they were proposing romantic unions with. So this magician is experiencing loss. They sabotage themselves. They sabotage themselves thinking that you were just another notch in the headboard. And you're being very fierce and very aggressive, and it looks like somebody else may be too, because the Emperor is right here with you and the Hierophant is right next to the High Priestess. It could be that this Queen of Cups is the High Priestess. It speaks to me of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The High Priestess, Divine Mother. Some folks are having disagreements. They think you should understand how they feel, when for centuries they did not care what they were doing to the so-called weak ones, the vulnerable ones, the ones who were here to nurture and grow life and make it flourish and be successful. They did their best to unalive everything and everyone because they just wanted to dominate, control, and F their way into every hole, whatever. So they're having anxiety because you're too strong, you're being fierce, and you're in your chariot. You're moving away from this. You're moving toward love. You are relaxing. You are planning for the future. This devil missed their opportunity. Their cup is empty. Seven of Swords. They're in the environment being deceptive and tricky. They're still being dishonest regarding this Queen of Cups. who is a compassionate and emotionally stable feminine. The Emperor is here offering protection. He understands her side of the story. And the snake. The snake. He has an understanding about this snake and about the temptation that these ones who are bringing fraud against the Queen of Cups has been given. They were given a temptation. All they had to do was trap the freaking Divine Mother, the High Priestess. And they could have their cake and eat it too, with power and authority and status and whoo. But the Emperor and the Queen of Cups is here with a victory for love. The snake lost your destiny, or lost their destiny. Look, everything you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. It's all in ruins. So, because love has gained a victory, the snake has a financial loss in their destiny, in their future. Everything about them is falling away. And it's like, what did I said something about time the other day? It's like people are real good with manipulating time, but time is ending, so the illusions are collapsing. Very swiftly, we have the Hierophant and the High Priestess here. They were unsatisfied with the way things were going for families, for unions, for family trees, for, society, and what these ones have been doing to it. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way they wanted. Somebody wants an exit plan. Or you have an exit plan. You're leaving. Somebody's grieving because you're leaving and you've got an exit plan. It could be that they want an exit plan. Mr. Romantic here is not sure what to do. They're reaching for love, but love is eluding them. In the recent past, the wheel has turned and they can't do that anymore. They're having problems getting their needs met. They're struggling because they were playing games with love and love is no longer supporting them. They can't hook up. And they're crushed about it. They're crushed, hurting emotionally. Things are in pieces. Everything's in pieces. They've been found guilty of lying and keeping secrets, using love as an escape route to poverty, to do the own work. They never did the work. They just forced love to serve them and to carry the burden of shame and blame and filthy little habits and secrets that never belonged to love. Made them carry experiences, they would go out and be filthy and then they would lay that energy, and the mirror effect of the mask wearer would put that onto the actual Queen of Cups, and it was never her action, never her thought, never her life, but she had to carry it as though it was, be treated as though it was. And they can't do the magic for that anymore. Every 10 of Cups contract will be investigated, will be researched. Independent research. So they're struggling to get over the past. You're struggling to get over the past. They've lost. They've lost you. They've lost out on love. They're stubborn. They don't want to hear it. They could be getting aggressive. They might be getting a little nutty in the head. They're challenged because these these romantic contracts or these more romantic connections are being researched. They're challenged with forgiveness. They want to be forgiven, but they've lost. They've been abandoned. It's like they're, in the indigenous culture, if somebody is bad enough, the clan just turns their back on them. And it's just like, that's it. They were bribed. They were tempted. And they lost. They took a gamble. They tried to trap the beautiful, nurturing essence of the Queen of Cups and tried to force her to eat their SHIT on the daily. And not just theirs, but all of their friends and family and anybody else they wanted to invite in to take a big old crap right on her spiritual plate while she was serving them and making their life better. Dishonesty. There's punishment happening for this magician. It's too late for them to take any action. You're tired of it. You're tired of it. They might be tired. They're exhausted. Yeah, you deserve a break now. Look, you deserve a break now. You're tired. You're emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything. You deserve a break now. You've got your big old halo on there. Your solar plexus energy is all lit up, but you're tired still, and you deserve a break from dealing with all this malarkey. Your light is probably so bright because you had to transmute so much crap for who knows how long, more than one lifetime. This is the Wheel of Fortune. This is the end of the cycle for this romantic behavior and childish, disloyalty. It's a new chapter, and their needs aren't being met. Neither are their needs for touch. So they can't get, look, they've been suffering a loss. Their needs aren't being met. They could be losing their loved ones or their pets. They're in sorrow. The magician is in regret, disappointment. They have failed. They sabotage themselves with thinking you were just another notch in the headboard. You're the freaking high priestess, Queen of Cups, with a big old love cup and a big old strength card and two chariots here. Triumph. You're being fierce. They thought it was a joke. They thought you were just another notch in the headboard. You're being very fierce right now, or somebody is being fierce right now. The Emperor is here right now with the hierophant regarding this Queen of Cups, high priestess. They understand full well what has been going on here, and there's a triumph, a victory. Look, victory, victory, victory. Strength, forward movement. You're out of here. You're going. Somebody's in disagreement, thinking you should understand how they feel. They want to rejoin and reconnect with love when they have tried to destroy it. They've been feeding love to a black hole of torment, and they want to reconnect. That's just freaking funny. These prideful people are having anxiety. So you are recuperating from this devil who lost their opportunity. Their cup is still empty. It was all a fantasy. It was all a freaking fantasy. They caused all this pain and damage for a fantasy. Betrayal, trickery, and fraud brought up against the Queen of Cups is being met by the Emperor, who is an authority figure, a very responsible authority figure. He's given protection. He's all about rules and power and structure. A leader, a stable leader, respected, who has an understanding of what they have been doing to this Queen of Cups. They've been committing fraud against this Queen of Cups. He knows all about it. This was the snake coming against a sweetheart. Two sweethearts, if you will. The sweethearts are walking away from a temptation. They have an understanding and they're walking away from the temptation. They have unconditional love. the sweethearts have unconditional love. They're not going to do anything about this temptation because they have an understanding about it. Nope, we're not going to do that. Oh, that sweetheart is the sweetheart love and inner peace, man. There's no, what the hell? Get out of here, snake. We understand what you're up to. This is a self-love sweetheart who has inner peace here. Both of them are there. Unconditional love. A big old Ace of Cups love. So there's a victory for love, which brings poverty for the destiny of whoever's in ruins. Victory for marriage. Victory for love. The snake is in poverty. Their destiny is in ruins. It's all falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. Yes. The love that you deserve. Caring, compassionate love. So very swiftly, we've got the Hierophant here. Society and its rules. They've been talking about society and what these ones have been doing to it. So, oh. And the High Priestess with high morals. She's got sacred divine connection. Divine feminine, divine masculine. The love of the Queen of Cups and the protection of the Emperor. Somebody's unsatisfied with the way things are going. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way that they had anticipated. You've got an exit plan. You're leaving. They want an exit plan because you're leaving. They're trying to get aboard your chariot, but they're being stopped. It could be that their exit has been stopped. You're worth saving. And there's a separation here. They're being separated from you. They're being separated from your money. They're being separated from both of you here. Because they were trying to dominate your fortune, your good luck, your future good life. And now they're in a nightmare. They're getting ready for a nightmare. The mask wearers, the pretenders. Maybe they're in a nightmare because you persevered through the illusion. Or because your perseverance has caused these ones who were daydreaming about being you, daydreaming about your reward, to fall into a trap. They're in danger. Danger again. A miracle. The miracle is there is good news here. Whoever was doing magic on your fate is being confined. And there's plenty of evidence here of what they were doing. So it's irrefutable evidence. Long history. They're being rejected. They're being rejected, or they're going through withdrawals. They are no longer attached to your inner peace. They can't siphon your north node. You know, they're stuck in their south node energy. And that's justice. It's time for justice. Their strategy was to mind read you and to predict what you were going to do, to predict your future, to mind read society, figure out who was going to win, who had something coming, and then they would just go take the reward by making their life hell so bad that they would take themselves out. And it's all coming back on them. Everyone who collaborated to put this kind of stuff on you and take your reward, it's all coming back on them. They're frightened. They're disturbed. They could be having supernatural experiences. Look, this whole network of people are bound to their commitments that they made coming for you, and they're stressed out in their head. They got all this stuff going on in their head. I don't know, you know. And it's so strange that they would consider it your fault. But these are narcissists, and they're never accountable for anything. It's always somebody else. If an apology ever does happen, it's an apology for someone else. You know, they apologize, well, I'm sorry so-and-so said that wasn't right. But they never say, well, I'm also sorry for what my part in it. They never do that, even though you may have mentioned. Okay, so the Knight of Cups, Knight in shining armor, is hesitating. They don't know what to do. They're looking for an escape. They're reaching out, trying to connect to love, but love is eluding them. They're getting nutty in the head. They got an Ace of Cups in the reverse. Their love cup is empty. And they got stuff going on in their head. They could be getting all nutty in the head. They have no love. They're disconnected from your love. And they're challenged because any romantic connections are being looked at very carefully. They're challenged because they want forgiveness, but they've lost. They were tempted and they lost. They took a gamble and they lost. And now they feel like they've been abandoned, and they're in a 10 of Wands energy. They're overwhelmed. You're not carrying the burden for them anymore. This Queen of Cups is no longer carrying the 10 of Wands burden for this Knight of Cups. She deserves a true 10 of Cups union. But he wanted to come in and take her 10 of Cups union and replace it with the 9 of Wands burden. But he lost, and so he has to carry his own burden. It's a punishment for dishonesty. This is a magician. And it's too late for them to take any action. You're tired and emotionally exhausted from dealing with this crap. You deserve a break from it. So there's a 4 of Cups. Apathy. Apathy. Like you just don't care anymore. They don't like what they're getting. They're getting a 10 of Wands burden. You're getting a 10 of Cups union. And every one of those unions are being looked at. It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Romance. I see you're holding 10 wands there. What are you're trying to, what kind of exchange are you trying to make? So they're being disconnected. You deserve a break now. They're being disconnected out of your field. You don't care about them anymore. The only thing they ever offered was a good or a not so good time under the sheets. That's all. And then argument and mental upset or uffery. So the wheel has turned on Mr. Romance and their new chapter. Their needs aren't being met. They're suffering loss. And they're in a 7 of Wands burden. They're getting battle ready, or they're trying to stand up for themselves. You're being assertive. You're not dealing with them. You're standing up for yourself. We've got the Magician here who's disappointed. They've got a failure. You stood up for yourself very strongly. They sabotaged themselves thinking that you were just another notch in the headboard. You're being fierce. You're being aggressive. You're protecting yourself, and you're being protected, and there is a victory for you. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords. Triumph. The Lion is there, fierce. And we've got the Lion here on the Strength card. And the Chariot. A victory, a departure. You're moving forward. Somebody is in disagreement. They're having anxiety. They're prideful. And you've got the Hermit again, shining a light on this pride, on pride. Doing your research. 10 of Divine Love is getting in that Chariot, but these ones are not getting in that Chariot. They're reaching for love, but their love cup is empty. Love is eluding them. They have no love in them. What they got in them is a 10 of Wands burden. They don't have 10 of Cups in their heart. They're not offering that. They don't even have 1 cup of love. So you're planning for the future. You are recuperating from this toxic stuff. They missed their opportunity. Their cup is empty. It was all a fantasy. It was all an imagination. It was all a fantasy. They're in a 9 of Swords, anxiety and fear energy. They're having nightmares. They might not be able to sleep. They could be having something going on in their head. They definitely got something going on in their head. In the environment, there is betrayal and trickery, theft. They were talking about marking the material. He's going to mark the material anyway, somebody said. I don't know what material is, but there's trickery and fraud here in the environment, and they're trying to mark the material. They were warned not to touch it. So I would suggest not touching any gifts that somebody's trying to give. Or this person, they have to return something. They have to give it back. But they're going to do something to it. They're going to taint it. They're going to taint it somehow, whether it be with a substance or a spell or some kind of a mark. And if she touches it, see, even touching it, whatever it is, there's a mark on it. I don't know. And if she wears it, touches it, they were warned not to touch it. It's got a spell on it. So anyway, they're trying to get away with trickery and fraud against the Queen of Cups. This Emperor is here offering protection. There's an understanding about what's going on with this snake. You can relax. You love yourself. You have a beautiful unconditional love between you. And this is a King of Pentacles, a businessman. He's very wealthy and successful. He's a provider. This Emperor. Disciplined. The Chariot here again. Look at that. The Queen of Pentacles. Care. So you got the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Queen of Cups with the Divine Mother, the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Wow. Oh, and what else we got here? The Queen of Wands. Confident. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. This is an Empress, High Priestess. This is an Empress, High Priestess. And the Emperor knows what they've been doing to her love and to her mental body, her mind. She's stable. Very quickly, the Hierophant is here with the High Priestess. They're unsatisfied with the way things were going. Somebody's grieving. It didn't work out the way they had planned. They need an exit plan. You're leaving. They've been stopped. And you've got your 10 of Pentacles inheritance. It could be that their inheritance is being stopped, that you've stopped their inheritance. They said, the Divine stated that those who delay another's purpose will also delay their inheritance. The Magician is in a 2 of Swords energy, stuck in the middle. Could be at a crossroads. So Mr. Romance is holding back. He doesn't know what to do. He's looking for an escape. He's getting nutty in the cabeza. His Ace of Cups is in the reverse, and he's reaching out for love, but love is eluding them. They're triggered. They could be having outbursts. they're having to carry, they've lost, and they're having to carry this heavy 10 of Wands burden. They're triggered. They can't get a romantic love connection because the Hermit is shining a light on every union that's happening. And so there's a lot of research and verification. It's like, okay, you want a 10 of Cups union. What are you offering? Well, it looks like he's offering a 10 of Wands. He's a troll. He was tempted by the 10 of Cups. He wants forgiveness. He's lost. He's being abandoned. All he has to offer is a 10 of Wands burden. All he has to offer is a 10 of Wands shadow. A 10 of Wands shadow burden. Take care of your demons before your demons take care of you. Trauma bond. He's trauma bonded to the shadows. He's got a 10 of Wands burden. He wants a romance. He wants somebody to love him so that he could dump that trauma bond and those shadowy ickiness onto that person. He can't. All he has to offer is a 10 of Wands burden, and that's not gonna happen. They're getting disconnected here. There's a punishment. There's dishonesty for this magician. It's too late for them to take any action. You're tired, emotionally exhausted from dealing with this. You deserve a break now. You are a bright and shiny halo, a powerhouse of energy. And they're getting disconnected from you. Fashion witch. A fashion witch. A magician. So there could be a fashion witch here. With this magician, you've got the magician here, fashion witch, third party enemies, trauma bonded, trying to lure in this Queen of Cups, so a 10 of Cups union so that they can, you know, dump their crap onto her. So the wheel turns on Mr. Romance. This is a new chapter where their needs won't be met. They are suffering a loss. They're in sorrow because you stood up for yourself and you are protected. You are protected here. You are a unicorn. You're a special one. You're a myth. You weren't supposed to exist. That's what they said. You were not supposed to exist. They really thought that whatever you are, whoever you are, that you were extinct. So the magician is in regret and disappointment. They failed. They sabotaged themselves thinking that you were just another notch in the headboard. You got the Queen of Swords here, triumph and fierce, acting aggressive, but you're just protecting yourself from this entity here. You could be an influencer. These ones are so mad that you're an influencer and you might be telling this story, you know, which is influencing others and like, whoa, holy moly, what's going on, man? You know, I don't know. Very, very strong. Compassionate. You've got a victory here. They think you should understand how they feel. They're trauma bonded with the shadows and they're carrying around a 10 of Wands burden and they wanted you to carry it. They're triggered because you won't carry it. This magician and their fashion witch. You're shining a light on pride. The black square. Those who do the very bare minimum. They don't want to go heal their trauma. They want to dump it on somebody who already has proven that they can. While taking the goodness, you know, and then looks like they're going to have to deal with it. You're making plans for the future. You're recuperating from this devil energy, from this toxic situation. They have missed their opportunity. Their cup is empty. It was all a fantasy. And you've got somebody could be in fear of a vampire, or this could be a vampire that's having anxiety. They can't feed on you. They've got to carry their own black square, their own shadow, and their own trauma. They could be having a nightmare about it. I mean, how long have they been just sloughing this crap off onto other people while they continue to degrade? And get worse and worse and more dark and more dark. So they're in the environment trying to get away with trickery and steal from the Queen of Cups, who is emotionally stable. The Emperor is here as a King of Pentacles also. Wealthy, successful businessman offering protection And he is very disciplined and stable. People respect him. He has an understanding of what this snake has been doing to a peaceful, self-loving sweetheart who is not a troll. And maybe he's saying, no, you will not troll this person. No, troll, you cannot come here and mess around with this sweetheart. Troll. I keep thinking about those little red-headed elves, you know, that run around in the forest being trolly or whatever. I don't know. I haven't watched TV in forever, but when I was a kid, I could have swore I saw something like that. A troll. Are you a necessary evil? So no, you're not a necessary evil. You're not evil at all. You are peaceful. You are a sweetheart. You love yourself. You take your self-care very, very importantly or very seriously. You're unconditionally loving. You love yourself. You're not a troll. You don't troll anybody. You don't push your bad stuff onto anybody. You process it. Look, getting your land back. They have to give it back. They took something from you and they have to give it back. But this person is wanting to sabotage it somehow. You got a Chariot here. A win for love. Victory for love. Victory for marriage. For babies. For families. And this snake is in a poverty mindset regarding this destiny. They're in ruins. They're falling apart. Everything's falling apart in their life to make room for the love that you deserve. You can't be trolled by these people. No more trolling people who love themselves. No more trolling peaceful sweethearts. No more committing fraud against love. Privilege. So you deserve love. You are the one who deserves this privilege. You care about family. You care about family. You're in your Queen of Wands energy and your Queen of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. This is amazing. Ooh. You're coming into a life of luxury is what they said. They're very jealous of it. They want to take you out. They're all threatening. You're going to pay for this. They have no love cup. You did not give them your love cup. You're like, I'm cutting you off, right? No, you can't have it anymore. I'm keeping it for myself. Tinfoil hat. Conspiracy theory. Don't believe everything you think. You weren't supposed to exist. Their inheritance is being stopped. They lied about you. They lied about everything. They did whatever they could to try to diminish the love of the divine feminine, the legend. So this narcissist will have to take care of themselves. This simp who has been love bombing and gaslighting people. There's an announcement being made that the land is going back to the oracle, and they will need to stay in their own lane. It's like, bitch, stay in your own lane. So the land is going back, and, you know, somebody's been snacking on this star seed, or they wanted to. And this cult leader is being warned. Being warned. They're out of control about this empath. Or it could be that the empath knows all about their wayward, you know, wanton ways. They're jealous of the billionaire status of this Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, sweetheart. And the fact that she has the support of the Emperor and the Hierophant. They're mad about it. I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. I hope that it clarifies something that you already intuitively knew. I wish you a blessed night. Bye.